when you're trying to pick the best concealed carry holster, it can be about as overwhelming as trying to pick the perfect carry gun in today's market where there's so many different options. And so hopefully I can help you today and tell you what I believe to be the best concealed carry holster on the market, period. Now the goal of the video is to hopefully help you so you don't waste a bunch of money and end up with a drawer full of holsters that you're never going to use. And you know, like I said, these things are not cheap. And so that's something you don't want to be wasting money on, but you also want your gun secure. So you do want to spend good money on a good holster. You don't want to waste a bunch of money though on ones that you don't like. Hopefully this will work for you. If not, there may be some in the comments. Then you're like, oh, that may be a better option for me. Whatever your opinion is and whatever you decide to do, leave me a comment down below after the video. If you like what I do, consider subscribing. Let's go and get into it. Now, my absolute favorite holster on the market has been for the longest time the Holster Profile. Now, I've used their Contour holster, which is outside the waistband, and I've also used their Oath holster, which introduced the ability to carry a gun with an optic. And because that's so popular, that's been the go-to option from Holster if you wanted to, you know, have that carry gun with said optic and be able to actually use it. That's been the only option. But now we have the Profile Plus, which is going to do everything this one did and allow you to carry with that optic on top. And so the way they've cut this design, it's going to work with a variety of different optics. RMRs, SROs are two they mentioned specifically. This one right here is a Romeo X from SIG. And so I would imagine as long as it doesn't go too far forward and hit that sight channel, you're going to be just fine. Now, why do I say this is the best holster on the market? I mean, that's a pretty bold claim. Well, one thing I can tell you is I've been carrying with these guys for 9 years. I've used a variety of different holsters over those 9 years. And this is part of why I think these guys are so great. First of all, let me just go ahead and tell you, I have a running relationship with the guys at Holster. I know them. So it's almost like, you know, if you know a friend that owns a business, you go to them because you trust them, you know them, you could put a face to them. And so while you may not know these guys, that is that's a part of the relationship that we've built. And I appreciate what they stand for. They're an American company, and their beliefs, their values, I stand in line with that stuff. So there's that. That is one big part of it. And so I just want to go ahead and throw that out there. But it's more than the relationship, because if the product sucks, the relationship can stay intact, but you know, I may have to go a different direction as far as a holster. So let's talk about the features that makes this the best holster on the market, in my opinion, of course. So first of all, we have that sight channel that I mentioned. So if you have a little bit taller sight, front sight there, you have 0.04 of an inch, a little bit taller raised sight channel there. One thing I want you to pay attention to when you're looking at the close-ups is all of the edges around the holster. A lot of companies out there will kind of form their holster where you have all of this extra material. Well, you'll notice like along the slide of the gun, they have a lot of different cutouts in there. And then they have this cutout area between the muzzle and the retention screw, right? And so instead of having just a straight edge there that kind of comes in, so you almost have like a boxy shape on the end, they've actually notched that off right there. And that is to prevent the holster from digging. Another thing, you'll notice on the opposite side of where that notch is, you will see another caddy corner type of cut there. And again, this is to hopefully prevent this holster from actually digging into your side. Notice the trigger guard. So it is pretty much flush with the bottom of the holster there. So it's going to be safe. It's obviously going to snap into place, but it's also going to give you that undercut there so you can get the highest grip possible when you're pulling this out of the holster. So it's sitting inside your waistband. You don't want to have like a half grip like this pulling the gun out. This is a little bit exaggerated, right? It'd be something like maybe that. You want to have a high natural grip, just like you grip the gun when you're at the range, so everything falls in line with what you're already doing. Coming to this other side, we have a full sweat shield, so that's designed to keep the slide off of your skin. And then you have a pretty strong cut there on the grip, and again, that's going to give us a full purchase, but it also allows the magazine release to be exposed. Now, some people hate this idea, But if you've carried with one of these holsters, you know that the chances of you being able to just hit that, I don't care if you're ripped or if you have a little love cushion going on wherever you carry this thing, it takes, you know, pinpoint pressure, or in this case, an index finger or a thumb, in order to really release that magazine. And I've never had it happen to me in the 9 years of carrying with one of these. So actually I see it more as a benefit, because what I do is I will chamber the gun, right? Or the gun's already chambered, but let's say I unchambered it for whatever reason, or I'm switching out carry rounds, I don't know, whatever. So I'll have the holster on inside the waistband. I will chamber the gun. I will secure it in the holster, and then I can release that magazine, top one off, put it back in the gun, and the gun is safe the entire time. So you may see that as an issue. Like I said, I've been carrying with these guys for a long time, and I've never had the magazine just inadvertently pop out of the gun. So you'll notice that they've cut away a lot of extra material, so it's not going to dig. They have strategically cut some of the corners and things like that off, so you don't have the holster digging into you, right? If you're going to carry, you know, have a gun on you, right, you want it to be as comfortable as possible, and you don't want the holster to be one of the issues. Another issue that I have with some holsters is they may have a maybe leather holster, or maybe a suede backing or something like that. Well, that just causes me to sweat more, especially down here in the South. I mean, everywhere in the United States this time of year. I don't want that stuff against my skin. Outside the waistband, that doesn't really matter. Inside the waistband, though, this is the kind of material that I want, because it doesn't cause me to sweat. So that is there. Another change that they've made here, we still have the retention screw, so you can adjust that, loosen it up, tighten it up, depending on how much force you want it to take in order to be able to draw that gun out of the holster. That is totally up to you. By the way, it's all stainless steel hardware. And then we have their DCC Monoblock Clip. Now, originally the profile holster came with the injection molded single clip, and that's one of the things I loved about that thing. It was solid, and it was easy to put on, and it made life simple. Well, this one is about the same, because again, I can grab both of these tabs. They have these nice little pull areas on the end here. They have an even better underside clip here. So this thing, if you ever worried about the injection molded clip coming loose, because it had a little bit shorter shelf, right, and it was injection molded, so there was some concerns from people about that. I never had an issue, but I understand what they were saying. This clip right here, though, is very similar to what you'll find on the Oath holster, and that thing ain't going nowhere. Plus you have two of them, so I can just grab those at the same time and boom, throw it on, good to go. This also has adjustable can. This is another thing with this holster. So basically, if I unloosen these screws just a little bit, now I can rotate this monoblock clip, and that will allow it to adjust position from 0 to 30 degrees inside your waistband to give you the perfect drawing angle on the gun when it's in your waistband. And it's open at the end down here, and they have a good amount of material there, so that monoblock clip is nice and secure. It's also open down at the bottom there. And the last thing that makes this the best holster on the market is the fact that it's discounted through my channel. You guys save 15%, and we've had tens of thousands at this point of people that have clicked the link and bought from Holster. And so fortunately, you don't have to just take my word for it. There will be people in the comments section of this video that can give you their honest experience with Holster as well. So that is a fantastic thing, and they discount them through the channel, which is always a good thing. So anytime I can secure a discount for y'all, that's what I like to do. Overall, I think this is the most minimal and best holster on the market for all of the reasons that I've laid out, and now it's even better because I can carry and have my optic on the gun at the same time and have the ease of use like the original profile holster, which is why I like that one so much. Let me know what you think about the Profile Plus. Is this something that you will be going with? Will you be sticking with the Oath? Maybe you'll get your first one and go with a profile holster. Whatever your opinion and experience is with holster, let us know down below. If you like what I do, consider subscribing. Big thanks to you guys. See you in the next one. And as always, hold them down.